Three unpopular college girls left completely alone in their dorm for the weekend decide to throw a party and invite equally unpopular guys. For entertainment, the group holds a séance and accidentally summons succubi who possess the girls, turning them into sexy but, surprise, deadly beauties. In the world of trash cinema, there are a few cult directors, and DeCoteau is one of them. He began his career shooting gay porn, then made his traditional film debut with the semi-amateur horror movie Dreamaniac, which caught the attention of producer Charles Band. Band entrusted DeCoteau with ultra-low-budget horrors like Creepazoids and Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama, and that's how a legend was born. DeCoteau is still alive and making movies today, though in recent years he's shifted to made-for-TV thrillers for housewives and Christmas melodramas, which, conceptually speaking, aren't all that far removed from porn either. DeCoteau shot Nightmare Sisters without Band, essentially on spare change left over from his other films. After finishing Sorority Babes, he took the leftover film stock and convinced that movie stars, Scream Queens, Michelle Bauer, Linnea Quigley, and Brinke to give him 4 days for a new project. As the actresses later recalled, they had no idea that over those 4 days they'd be shooting not a few scenes, but an entire movie. They simply didn't yet know DeCoteau, who never reshoots anything if he can avoid it, even if it's outright botched. Like one scene in Nightmare Sisters where the cinematographer missed focus so badly it makes you wonder whether he'd simply fallen asleep. In the end credits of Nightmare Sisters, the crew is collectively credited as a group called 4 Day Wonder, and anyone even remotely familiar with film production understands that shooting a full feature in that time frame is nearly impossible without working to complete exhaustion. DeCoteau pulled it off largely thanks to long takes and stretched out scenes. The film opens with an 8-minute dialogue-heavy prologue between two actors, followed by a 6-minute introduction to the main heroines shot from a single angle, and clearly in a single take. Things get a bit more varied after that, but not by much. Among other things, there's an extremely long scene of 3 naked actresses playfully splashing around in a bathtub, soaping each other up. Brinke later joked that it was the longest bathtub scene in the history of cinema. As you've probably guessed, Nightmare Sisters isn't far removed from a porn film in terms of overall quality and narrative depth. But for this particular movie, the odd combination of adult explicitness and almost childlike naivety somehow works. The actresses mug for the camera just as eagerly as they undress, and the script is packed with silly but energetic humor and inside jokes, like a line from Quigley's character, referencing her cult role in The Return of the Living Dead, about how she doesn't like zombie movies because one was enough for her. The horror makeup is so rudimentary it's more funny than scary. Some of the costumes were brought from the actresses' own closets, and somehow all of this ends up being oddly charming. The term cringe wasn't in use back when the film was made, but Nightmare Sisters is exactly that. Pure, distilled cringe, yet oddly harmless and inexplicably endearing. There's no real dramaturgy, direction, or acting, which is par for the course in trash cinema. But unlike the standard lazy trash where everything is bad simply because the creators don't see the point in doing better, Nightmare Sisters has a certain magic to it, a raw energy, an essence of life force, an infectious belief in itself, its path, and the ironclad formula that masterpieces are born from a mix of nudity, monsters, and stupid jokes. Masterpieces may be a stretch, of course, but there's no doubt that movies like this can be far more honest and sincere than both highbrow art house films and bloated studio blockbusters. One of those cases where what looks like a lack of good taste isn't a bug, it's a feature,